All right, guys, I think we can go ahead and jump right in here. Let's just, maybe like a minute, we'll wait. So, of course, this is Check Your Six, guys. This is, of course, an actual game based off of a miniatures board game where, of course, you're in World War II. You can play either as the Germans or the Allies. In this case, probably the first mission here, we're definitely going to be playing as the Allies so that you guys can sort of get an idea of how things work in the game. Now, we will go into more detail with the tutorials about specifically how to select sides, things of that nature. Right now, we're just starting off. Jolly good show. We're going to try to take down 3 DO-17s. I know those of you guys that were with us in the first stream we done on this game probably are fairly familiar with this battle, but I want to jump in again and see if we can do even better. So one thing to keep in mind right away, thank you, car honking, is that if you look over here on the left side, you can actually see the rank of each pilot. And depending on the pilot's skill and how much skill he gains over time, that rank can actually increase. Over here, we've got the German pilots, and of course, their only mission for this particular scenario is basically just to escape, to make it to the end of the map. So we're going to take the Hurricanes out, and hopefully we get some kills. I'm going to select Allies and start the mission. Here we go, boys and girls. Okay, guys, here we go. So first of all, setup phase, right? We want to see where the enemy is attacking from, and don't those Hurricanes look lovely. I've said it before, but a lot of people don't believe me, that the Hurricane was actually much more popular amongst the British pilots than the Spitfire was. It was a lot easier to manage. It was a plane that had been obviously in the RAF for a while already, so people were familiar with it. I mean, just imagine getting, for instance, a new gun and you're in the military. Even if that gun is potentially better, if you've been training with another one the entire time, it's not really going to be that great for you necessarily. So what I want to do is keep these guys in a pretty close formation, not right next to each other, but fairly close to one another so they can react. If you guys are taking a look at that, those red hexes, that's basically letting us know that's where they can shoot. I believe we have another plane back here. We do indeed. We have 2, and we're going to keep these guys back to catch any stragglers. The enemy might have some stragglers walking in. Remember, we're dealing with enemy bombers, so we're going to keep these guys back there for that. Here we go, guys. Let's take a look here. Yes, skirmish will be available in the future. Right now, we have campaign mode. Good question, though. So, if you take a look over here, guys, we can see my altitude is 6. My speed is 3. Now, I want to take a look at the enemy planes, the BF-110s, the bombers here. Their altitude is 4, so we absolutely need to drop our altitude a bit. I'm not going to mess around with direction at all right now, but I'm going to drop my altitude by 1. Just a little bit, not too much. We could drop it by all the way to 3 and basically dive in like a real Messerschmitt pilot would. But I think we're just going to keep things like this for now. We'll dive in with these guys as well. So essentially all we're doing right now is bringing these guys down a little bit. You can see there, it'll actually show you where our planes are headed. Okay, we got to take a look here. Make sure everything is on point. I want to see where these guys are going. Remember, we're going for these DO-17s. These are our main targets. There's a lot of other planes here that look really beefy and delicious, but these are the guys we need to destroy. And their altitude is 5. We're at an altitude of 6 here, but of course, by next turn, we will be lowering into their altitude. So, go ahead and lower. There we go. And you can see all of our boys, of course, descending a bit. And basically just getting into the groove, as it were. I'm actually going to probably turn this pilot a bit because there are some bombers over here, but they're not DO-17s. So I'm going to turn them just a bit here. This is a much harder turn than anticipated. And keep in mind that depending on your pilot's skill, your turns are going to get easier and easier. Right now, I'm just turning them over there to the right to basically get in the path of those DO-17s. Might turn him a little bit more here to the left, something like that, and we'll increase his speed. So he's actually going to be going quite quickly. Okay, this guy, we'll drop him another altitude. Actually, no, he cannot drop right now. He's still at 5, so he should be able to tangle with the enemy here. But once again, we're going for those DO-17s, so I'm going to move him a little bit to the right. You could see these red dots are letting me know that I can't turn all the way. And once again, with a, obviously a pilot that has a little more skill, that could change. All right, this guy's going exactly where I want him to go, so I'm not changing a single thing. Nicely done, Pixel. Nicely done, man. Got to be careful here that we don't have an on-air collision. What to do next? It's a tough one. So I think I'm going to go ahead and turn just a bit. We are definitely approaching the enemy big time. At this point, I'd like to turn to the right a bit. Something like that. Yup. We're still in an altitude of 5, so we should be able to shoot. Yup, sure enough, guys. Now, the thing about these Hurricanes, the Messerschmitts have cannons attached. Unfortunately, with the Hurricanes, we just have regular machine guns. That's not the end of the world. They're still pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and target that DO-172. 28% chance of a hit, and on top of the screen, you guys will see the actual dice roll of the attack. So let's do this. None, no damage. Oh, it looks like a DO-72 may be firing at one of our other planes. Sure enough, yup. You got to imagine that these bombers have machine gunners all over them in different positions of the plane. They're not as accurate as our own machine gunners are, obviously because they're controlling the Hurricane themselves. But they're still pretty accurate. So I think what I'm going to do is actually lower myself here. We've got to get some of those DO-17s, guys. We'll turn this guy. Unfortunately, that's the best turn we can get. It's just really not very good. We could lower our speed and go for a even different turn, but I think I'll just keep it like this. Once again, keep on descending. I can live with this, and we should be able to get a shot off. Yes! So you want to take a look at the different possibilities here. This DO-17Z, 83% chance of a hit. This one, 72% chance. This one, 42% chance. Of course, this one is going to be the first to get away. So some of you might want to go ahead and attack him. In this case, though, we're going to go ahead and attack this guy right here. So let me go ahead and... No hits! Oh, damage not inflicted, guys. We are getting very unlucky with our first mission here. Got to get some shots in. But so far, our gunners, I don't know if they're jittery. Maybe they haven't had their morning tea, but yeah, they're not doing so well. Come on, man. You can do this. Damn cadets, exactly, says Hathwell. Yeah, they're definitely not veterans. These guys, they may not have ever even seen combat. They may have just seen training. So obviously there's going to be a different. Hurricane Veteran +2, do you want to make a roll to check for a weapons jam? Now, this really mainly applies, and we didn't touch on this on the tutorial. We probably should have. This really applies mostly with multiplayer games. So you find out whether or not your weapon is jammed, and then you can let your opponent know whether or not it is. I'm not going to check for a weapons jam. I'm just going to hope the weapon's not jammed. How about that? I'm also going to lower my speed here because we're very close to other planes. And what I really want to do is target one of these guys. So let's see if we can't get a shot off. Another Hurricane here. But as you can see, BF-110's behind us. A DO-172 in front of us. Ooh. I might want to turn a little bit here and try and catch that DO-172. Let's see what the altitude is for him. It's going to be 4. We are at an altitude of 5. Oh, we can absolutely catch this guy. Come on now, plane. Same with this guy. He can also catch the enemy here. Okay, guys, there we go. Our first shot. Only a 28% chance to hit. And one of the reasons that the percentage of hitting is low, number one, of the fact that our guys are kind of noobs right now. But number two is the fact that this is at the very edge of our shooting tile. So this is kind of like the max distance, the max range for our plane to score a hit. So let's fire. Not a single bit of damage. Lucky hit right there. The enemy skipped a lucky hit shot, which is frustrating. And as you can see, they're still trying to take out all of our fighters. They don't want these guys roaming around behind them. A lot of missed opportunities on both sides. Not a single shot has connected yet, which is kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time. Not a single shot, guys. Here we go. We've got another opportunity, I believe. Ooh, we should have another opportunity. Maybe not. Okay, we're flying right below this plane, I guess. I'm going to actually increase my speed, and I'm going to turn a little bit more to the right over here. I'm hoping this is going to give us... Oh, look at that. There's aircrew confusion, guys. Plane is out of control. That occasionally happens. As you can see right now, one of the DO-17 had an aircrew fire. That's really up to no one. It's just a random occurrence that will sometimes happen. Occasionally, it'll happen after a firefight. They didn't notice that one of our bullets ignited a certain important bit of equipment. That could also be the case. But the important thing is we might have one DO-172 dropping just purely out of confusion, which is great for us. All right, we got to chase these guys. Come on, you can do it. He's at 4. We're at 4. Should be able to catch this guy. Do you want to attempt a deliberate collision? So yes, you can actually kamikaze your plane into enemy planes, which we have to beat this mission, so I really kind of want to do this. But I am going to just ignore this for now. I'm going to just go ahead and jump. MG sounds painful, says the last one. Absolutely. And Hethwell is referring to the tailing mechanics. We hopefully do. So tailing happens when you're about 3 tiles away from an enemy, and you get the opportunity to keep following them and firing. But of course, that opens you up to possibly getting hit from other sides. We're definitely not going to attempt a deliberate collision here, but we do get a shot. And unfortunately, only against BF-110s. No! Wait a minute. We definitely get a shot on the DO-172. Let's go. Come on. You can do it, man. Miss! Oh! The luckiest bombers I've seen. Now, one of them is going to probably burn up anyway. But still, man, I'm really surprised. These guys are doing an excellent job at avoiding our rounds. Now, right there, he just hit our engine, and our engine has critical damage. That's very serious. This guy just hit our airframe. We could be losing a plane here soon, guys. The airframe, as you can see, it's sparking. It's on fire. It's not in a good place. Okay, here we go. So now we can try the tailing mechanics. Even though this is not a DO-117Z, I'm going to go ahead and do the tailing mechanics for you guys. So generally, since this is not a DO-117, I probably would have ignored it, but we'll go ahead and do the tailing declaration phase. So we've already declared that we want to tail this guy. We want to follow him, essentially. And I'm going to actually go ahead and select tailed. I might try to turn around entirely. Let's see if this works. And there we go. BF-110 out of control. Engine fire on the DO-172, and she's going down. We didn't even have to do anything to her. Just a burning engine. Again, he may have been hit when we fired at him earlier, and it just didn't seem like a lot of damage. But obviously, after consideration, it became quite a lot of damage. There's a miss by the enemy. Ram and bail. Maybe we could maybe try that. That's an interesting suggestion. Although generally when you're ramming a bomber filled with jet fuel, things are not going to go well. So for tailing, yes, of course. We're going to go ahead and select this guy. So now this is declare our turn information. I'm going to turn right because right now we actually have a few ships or planes after us. Should be able to fire at this guy. I'm not sure where we're not. Let me lower the speed. Out of control, the BF-110. But these guys does look like they're going to reach their target. And as you can see here, the ending speed, you got to be very careful with this. Right now, there's nothing we can actually do about it. But this is also partially because our engine is in critical damage. When you get an ending speed of 0, it basically means your engine is dying. That thing is going to go down, it's going to crash. And this sometimes happens if you push your plane too much on speed and height. So these are things you want to watch out for while playing the game. This guy's gone, for sure. Alright, I'm going to try to speed up with this guy to see if I can't catch up to one of these Dio. Ooh, somebody claimed a prize. Congratulations. Well done. And they just destroyed our Hurricane. Okay, let's see if we can't get a little bit of revenge here. Once again, we're tailing this guy. And that BF-110 is out of control. So once again, we're going to turn this Hurricane around, but he might not be able to get off before he gets off the map. I think what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and we will restart this one. What do you guys think? Let's do a restart. We got some very unfortunate misses there, and I just can't live with myself after that. We need to do a restart. So let's get started again over here, and let's see if we can't actually take out some DO-17s. We were doing pretty well. I thought we were doing pretty well. I think one thing we need to do is we had our setup way up here in the front. And this time I think I'm actually going to spread our guys out a bit more. So we're going to put this guy all the way over here on the left side. Something like that. Put this guy sort of in the front. But we're just going to try and keep a distance. This gives us, or this gives them more ground they have to cover. Look at that. Somebody else got a gift. Well done. Surtur. Ah, it's Surtur. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. He picked up Check Your 6. Make sure to let me know what you think on Skype later. That's awesome, dude. He's like, I'm getting that for sure. Okay, no, actually, I'm going to drop this guy here. Grab this fellow. Something like that. Okay. So immediately we want to drop altitude. Just right away. And this time I think we're going to drop to 2. Or we're going to drop our altitude by 2. Last time we only dropped by 1. This time we're going to get right on their same level. Now keep your eyes on that ending speed. Because if that ending speed is 0, you want to stop dropping altitude. That means you've gone too far. Let's get this guy. Drop by 2. Here we go. Pixel says, like my classic RTS, have enjoyed seeing a few of the other Empires Apart streams, so hope to catch at least part of the one later today. Yes, that should be awesome. And I believe that one's going to be done by JP. Is that correct, Muso? Okay, I think so far we're doing what we want to do. Let's go. Descent before attack, of course. I think we're on the level of the enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Now, what I'm going to do is, we do have some DO-17Zs over there on the right side, actually. I might break off and try to start heading to the right. Then again, I think there's a lot more targets on the left. So, let's go for the left. Just gives us more of a chance of actually getting a hit here, which is exactly what we want to do. So let's see, that altitude is 4. I believe we're at 4.2. Perfect. We shouldn't have to do much more than this. We could speed up a bit and try to catch them faster. But besides that, I think we are doing everything we possibly can right now. I'm surprised we're not getting an option here to fire. Let me lower my speed a bit. Okay, there we go. So incorrect target. So I guess we're going to have to go for this DO-172 at 42%. He's on the very edge of our firing zone, which is that red hex area. But let's see if we can get the job done. So here we go. Open fire. Airframe, guys. We hit the airframe. That is a great start. It might not sound like a lot, but it definitely is a great start. And this could later start an engine fire. It could cause all sorts of problems. But right now, it definitely is letting us know that our planes are hitting the target. That's the most important thing. All right, I'm going to keep him just on the same path. He's doing fine. These other guys, though, are flying right past the DO-197s. And we still have a few over here, so those are the ones I'm going to go for. Hopefully we can catch this guy as well. We're not going to attempt a deliberate collision, but we are going to fire on these other DO-17Zs. So I'm going to try to fire at this one right here. Unfortunately, we can't fire at both at the same time. The funny thing is, though, if you're playing with, like, for instance, a Messerschmitt 109, you can actually fire at one plane with your cannon and another with your machine gun. In this case, we're just going to go ahead, fire at one, and hope for the best. Come on, lucky dice. Oh, it's a miss. It is a miss. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Digital Mood. I haven't heard of that one, but it actually is based on an actual board game called Check Your Six. It's kind of cool you pick that up. It's pretty hard to find, you know, board games focused on with the World War II air war. So I'm glad to see one. And now that it's put into game form, that's like, wow, very cool stuff. A lot of misses here by the bombers, although we're definitely in the midst of enemy bombers, that's for sure. We still have DO-172s here, so I'm going to actually continue forward. Again, the more of them I can hit and damage before they possibly get to the end of the map, the better. I might turn a little to the left. I'm going to lower the speed a bit here because we're pretty close to enemy planes. I'd like to try and get a shot off. Engine, oh, crew heroic. I've never seen that before. There's a heavy fire on the DO-17Z, and the crew is panicking. That's great. A heavy fire. Just imagine, a pilot's worst nightmare, besides just both engines dying, is a fire breaking out on board. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So we're going to go for the 58% here on this fellow. Hopefully we can get a good shot. Lucky dice. Yes, we hit the airframe, guys. We absolutely hit the airframe there. Now, they actually hit us and actually made our pilot black out. So this pilot in the Hurricane is currently blacked out. His gun is destroyed. He's not going to be useful. I mean, so many things go into account in this game. Not just fuel, not just, bullets, but you can damage enemies' guns. You can kill enemy pilots. You can damage enemies' wings. I mean, so much goes into it depending on the role. I really love that. Oh, cool. Avalon Hill also made classics like Panzer Blitz, Squad Dealer. I think I've heard of Panzer Blitz. So that's a good question, Once Upon a Game. He's asking, besides missions, is there a point skirmish mode? That would be a better question to ask Muso. I do believe that they are going to be adding that. I can't be 100% certain. But I do believe that that's in the works. So, again, I don't want to give you guys a definite, but very possible. Look at that airframe fire on the DO-17. We've got a bunch of smoking planes right now. I'm going to lower speed a bit. Actually, I'll increase speed. Pilot no longer blacked out. Ooh, imagine waking up in a plane like, oh my goodness, where am I? Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, this guy we definitely want to turn around. Hopefully he can catch. Yes, he can still fire at that DO-17 guy. So look at that. Now, this can also happen when you're tailing a plane, but for all intents and purposes, we're tailing this guy right now. So he's already smoking. Let's see if we can't go ahead and end his misery a little bit faster. Roll them dice. Actually, no damage to any of his pieces, but we did score a hit. Whether or not that's going to actually damage him, we'll have to wait and see. We definitely scored a hit. We just didn't hit any specific areas, like the tail, the engine, nothing like that. Yeah, so there we go. Muso just responded, one should come soon. So now our job is to turn these planes around. Remember what I told you guys about planes that fly off the map. You know, they're no longer useful. So I'm going to try to turn this guy completely. Heavy engine fire on the DO-17, and he's going down. That's one down, guys, for the mission. Beautiful. Now, these bombers are actually heading back to, looks like to challenge us, possibly. With my Hurricane, we're going to have to try and turn them around. But I think to do that, we're going to have to lower speed. You know, turning a plane around in this game, and I'm sure in real life, especially these World War II era planes, it's not just like, oh, look, I've done a 180-degree turn. No, no, no. It actually takes time. It actually does take time. So in this case, yes, I'm going to continue forward with the Hurricane. We might even get another shot at the DO-17. Now they just hit our engine, and that's the pilot that blacked out. Poor guy has gotten hit a lot. Okay, I'm going to try to increase speed, and this is primarily to catch the DO-17Zs. I don't think we'll be able to catch up to them, but we need to try. Once again, what did I tell you guys about flying off the map? If you fly off the map, there is a chance you will lose your plane. So you don't want that to happen. Sometimes it's almost inevitable. It's a bit hard to avoid. Ooh, I really wish I could increase my speed, but I can't. I can, however, increase my altitude and hopefully come down and descend on those DO-17Zs at some point. Looks like they're actually going to go for a shot. That is surprising. So let me increase speed now. And that one guy with the engine fire, he's still flying around. I'm going to try to get above them. Obviously, at a higher altitude, we can cover more territory a lot faster. But I still don't think it's going to be fast enough to catch these guys. Ooh, some aircrew confusion here in the 110s. Yeah, if no plans, then wait, says John Kaminsky. Pretty much a good idea. Ooh, what's that? Iceni Raider just redeemed a Check Your Six stream key. Nice. Glad you guys are enjoying the game. Now, there's very little we can do to save this plane. He's going to fly off, unfortunately. That BF-110 regained control, which is not what we were hoping for. But both of these planes are going to fly off. And there's actually a chance that they will return. I think there's a dice roll involved. Right there, BF-110, engine critical, gun sight destroyed, ordnance explosion, pilot blackout. We didn't even do anything, but he's definitely getting hit pretty hard. We're going to continue forward with our Hurricanes. Pilot blackout once again in the BF-110. Out of control. So actually, I'm going to increase speed and decrease altitude. But catching up with these guys is going to be very tough. Look at that. They just hit our engine. Oh, man. So as you can see, there's going to be a -2 check since we're flying off. And if we actually pass the check, we come back onto the actual map. But there we go. That's an Axis victory. We didn't manage to kill enough of the DO-17s. It's just that simple. So we could certainly try again. Or we could try a new mission, if you guys would like to try that one. And this one is actually one we could play on the side of the Germans. So we're going to be trying, guys, the Battle of Britain, the impossible mission, where we play as the Germans and we try to protect a bridge, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Axis here to make sure we are fighting as the Axis. Now, I keep clicking over here. Please don't get confused. You should actually be clicking right there. You can see we've got some Messerschmitts. We're going to be fighting some Battle 3s as well as some Hurricanes. Let's jump in and hope for the best, guys. Now, in this particular mission, we've got a pretty cool setup. We've got some AA guns here defending this bridge. And you can see that the area here is rife for a battle, for an air battle, that is. The enemy's going to try to destroy the bridge, and our job is to try and stop them. With these Bf-109s, these Messerschmitts, I always feel safe. They are just exceptional planes. As you can see, they've got more than just one gun. They've got two guns, a cannon as well as a regular machine gun. These things, they are really, really good. I'm also going to be bringing in these guys as well. I think our altitude is a bit high right now, though, so let me lower it by 1. We'll do the same with these other guys, but really we want to try and get to the bridge as soon as possible, take out as many of the enemies as possible. We can't lower our altitude right now. We can lower speed, that's about it. Let's lower our speed just a bit. Yes, thank you. That's the one, Camouflage. It's a 20mm cannon and 7.92mm guns. Thanks, mate. That is it. Now, one of these guys is really close to some enemy Spitfires. Hold on a second. I'm going to actually lower his altitude and see if I can't... Oh, no. No, that's going to be too much on the engine. So we're just going to turn towards these guys. We are going to have to get on their level, for sure. But this is an opportunity to attack them. And obviously we want to try and focus on the enemy bombers. Remember, we're trying to defend the bridge. So hitting enemy bombers is definitely on our list of things we want to do. -1 hex, yep. And I'm going to turn left. Completely left. There we go. Full bouts. We're getting into that zone where this could be the beginnings of an actual air fight. But I need to lower this guy's altitude. And right now, I think it's his speed. I think we need to lower his speed because he does not want to drop. It could also be the fact that we've got a plane right there, so he doesn't want to crash into him. We'll find out soon enough. All right, here we go. And actually, this guy's at 6 as well. So you know what? Let's keep things up. We're not even going to lower our altitude. If they want to fight us all the way up here, let's have at it. There we go, boys and girls. So as you can see, with the cannon... This thing, you got to be really close for it to be effective. We're only going to get a 3% chance of hitting that Hurricane with the cannon. I'm still going to target him, but we're also going to target him by selecting this light machine gun, and we're going to fire at him as well. And once again, we're pretty far from the enemy here. We're way high up, so the chances of us hitting him are pretty low, but let's hope for the best. He's also going to fire at us. So is his buddy. Thankfully, they missed both shots. We missed our first with a cannon, and yeah, unfortunately... Yeah, just not an easy shot by any stretch of the imagination. And finally, we can lower a bit. Lower altitude a little bit. This guy, we're still trying to lower altitude. I don't know what's up with him. You know what? I'm not going to get sidetracked by these guys. I'm going to try to actually just turn right past them. Now, do we want to attempt a deliberate collision? You know what? I've never attempted one. Let's attempt one. Here we go. Kamikaze into the enemy plane. And we also get a shot over here at the Hurricane. Unfortunately, that first shot is going to miss completely. The second shot, only an 8% chance of hitting with our machine guns. Missed shot, of course. Bf-109 over here. Keep it up. There's no reason to really change our altitude or anything, to be honest with you. And hopefully we should be able to catch this guy. But nope. Once again, no ability to decrease our altitude. I'm going to try to turn this way, get out of the flight path of that other plane. Maybe that's the issue. Okay, we've got an opportunity here, boys, to start firing with the cannon. This Battle 3 is a bit closer, so I think I'm going to try and fire on him. Once again, our chances of getting hit are not as great as we'd like them to be. And another thing that's affecting that, take a look here. One of the enemies is actually an altitude level below us. One is an altitude level above us. Now, we can still fire at them, but if we were on the same altitude level, the accuracy would be a lot better. So let's see what happens. Oh, they just got a hit on our engine there. That's going to be rough. And it looks like they might be tailing us, so I'm going to immediately turn left, try to get out of the way. Now this guy is badly damaged. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn him to the right as best I can. Same with this guy. Okay, we've got a shot here, guys. We know that first shot's probably not going to be very effective. Even the second shot, 0% chance of a hit. I've never seen something like that. Could be they're out of ammo, but I think it's just the distance is too great. Actually, we hit him. We actually got a hit. Do you want to make a roll to check for a weapons jam? I don't. But we did actually get a hit on that Hurricane, which is pretty hilarious. Unfortunately, it looks like we're about to fly off the map, unless we do something pretty dramatic here. So I'm going to try to do a massive turn. And again, it's pretty unlikely for not very experienced pilots to be able to make those turns. Don't expect all your pilots to be able to do that. In fact, this one looks like he's going to be flying right off the side of the map. Here I'm definitely going to descend. We were trying to catch up to this guy that's about to hit the bridge, and actually it might be our AA guns that get a chance to shoot at him first. So here we go, guys. We got some light AA. Only an 8% chance to hit. You know, flak, obviously it's not a surefire way to take down a plane, but it's one of many. So let's go ahead and open fire. Attack missed, unfortunately. And they're missing attacks on our fighter pilots as well. Now there they actually got a hit, but it wasn't enough to destroy the plane. Turn this way and let me lower my altitude. I'm going to do the same with this guy right here. In his case, we're lowering the speed. Pixel is right. The board game stuff is not the easiest thing to find, especially for Check Your Six. Yeah, it's you gotta look. I'm guessing you probably have to order it offline. I've never actually gone to a hobby shop and seen anything related to Check Your Six. I only know it exists because I've seen the tournaments on YouTube. But it's very cool for it to be available in this situation. So we're gonna fire at the Battle 3. That's the guy that's carrying the bombs, and hopefully we get a hit. Fortunately, attack missed. 8% chance of a hit. Yeah, that is not easy. We've got the BF-109 here. We'll try to fire at this battle. And we'll also fire with our machine gun. Now, 28% chance to hit. Somewhat better odds than we've gotten so far. Oh, boy. I'm amazed they're missing too. At least we're both missing quite a lot. Nice, guys. We hit the airframe. He is going down. That Battle 3 is done. When a cannon hits the airframe like that, that plane is finished. I mean, a cannon is obviously, somebody mentioned it earlier, a 20-millimeter round. If that thing's going through a plane, especially if it hits an engine or anything mechanical at all, you are in serious trouble. That thing is going to cause major damage. And there we go. Look at that. So they did hit the bridge, unfortunately. They did damage it. I'm not sure if they've destroyed it completely, but that was one of the mission objectives, was for us to save the bridge. And you can't always save everything. That's just the truth. This poor BF-109 looks like he's being chased, and he is, by all of those enemy planes. Look at that, guys. All right, increase your speed. Yeah, I'm going to have him just increase his speed right now. Hopefully he can still get a shot off. All right, we got another flak shot here. Definitely going to fire at the Battle 3. Damage not inflicted. We did hit it. We just didn't do any damage. So right now, look at that. Our cannon, 42% chance damage. Oh, man, that's a really good chance. Really good opportunity. 72% with our machine gun. I hope our guys get this. Although at the same time, we're being shot at by all these hurricanes behind us. Even by the bat gunners of that plane. But there we go. We hit the engine of the Battle 3. The gun crew is hit. And she's going down, guys. I think she's going to land in the river somewhere. Boom! Another awesome attack by the Luftwaffe. We're doing a very good job right now. I'm going to increase my speed just to make sure this guy does not get away. And I'll actually increase my altitude a bit to try and be on the same level as him. Oh, the bridge has been destroyed. Did you guys see that? Now, obviously, that was the enemy bombers bombing us, as well as the damage inflicted to it by the crashing planes, I believe. But nonetheless, the enemy has accomplished their task. Now, I believe we can keep on playing, but just keep in mind that as the Germans there, you would have basically lost the mission. You know, we can certainly keep trying to get some better shots off, etc. But yeah, we've lost the mission right there. I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Anytime you want to check, yeah, right there. So that's an Allied victory. But I like to think that was a fun little back and forth. What did you guys think? That was definitely interesting. Just having to get into a fight with them. The shots we got were excellent. And I have to say, so far, I'm really loving the game. It's just really well done. The rules to determine what part of the plane get hit, what part of the plane starts fires, things like that. Just that alone, for me, makes it a fascinating title. Let's take a look here at the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Shows the very, very good point. Shows the madness of air combat. We're going to go for one more here, my friends, in this stream. We're going to try again as the Brits. I'm sure we can get a win on this one, really. So let's start as the British. This time I'll go with more of a V formation. The last few times we didn't take this V formation. We kind of set these guys up in like one long line. So let me do this. Let me grab this guy, right? All right, start him there. Bring this guy over here. And this way, if we have any stragglers getting by our frontal assault line, we'll have some planes behind to deal with them. Let's do this. No, sorry. There we go. No! All right, that was my fault, guys. Now, we do have some guys back here. We will set them up, don't worry. Right now, I'm just going to lower down to 2 in terms of altitude. Do the same with these guys. Lower down 2. And lower down 2 with the Hurricane. We're not messing with our speedometer at all. We're just going to lower altitude for now. Solid engine hit, says Pixel. Yeah, that was a solid engine hit, man. Sometimes you can take out the gun crew, you can take out the engine. I mean, it's just beautiful. Okay, I think we're going to keep things as they are. Now remember, you're at a slight disadvantage on the Hurricane only because you don't have those cannons. You've got some machine guns, but at least in the Messerschmitt, you have a number of armaments that can really help. Come on, we should be able to get some shots here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. 42%, 42%, 42%. Basically even all around. We'll go for the guy. We'll actually go for the guy on the right side because we got another plane over here, and he might be able to target him if we don't get a good hit. That's a miss. Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to return fire. I'm going to lower speed to hopefully get another shot off. Get that one in the back, hopefully. All right, let's go for it. 72% chance. Come on. A miss! A miss! Luckily, the enemy's missing 2. Now, we really messed up with those other 2 planes back there. What I was trying to do was switch to the next plane to set them up on the board. Instead, we put them all the way at the back. So I'm not even sure if they're going to be effective for this particular Let's Play. Let's move back, see what's going on here. They should be able to... Yeah, we should be able to turn them. There we go. I thought to say. See what the altitude level is for those DO-17s. It's 4. We're at 4. We should be able to get in front of this guy and get some shots off. Should be able to. Yep, there we go. Only a 28% chance, but it's better than nothing. No! Not a single hit there, guys. That is so unfortunate. And you'll have missions like this. Sometimes you'll have missions where you're getting hits left and right. Sometimes you'll have missions where you're missing everything. So you just got a hit there. Now, if it says none, that doesn't necessarily mean no hit. All that means is it hasn't hit an important or critical part of the plane. You can see sometimes when it says none, that plane is still sparking or fizzling or there's some smoke coming off it. It's been hit by machine guns. It's just luckily the machine guns have missed any critical parts. And that later can start an engine fire. It can cause the crew to panic. It can do all sorts of things. So it's not just as simple as, oh, look, I'm firing. Oh, I got a miss. It's just not that simple. I really want to hit this guy, but I don't feel like we're going to have an opportunity to do that. Here we go, guys. What to do in this situation? I'm going to lower our speed. Still trying to get a shot on one of these DO-17s. Do we want to attempt to deliver a collision? Of course we do. Of course we do. We're only doing this for you guys. Obviously, I would never recommend a deliberate collision in this game. I'm going to go ahead and target that DO-17Z. Miss once again. As you play the game more and you get more and more skilled pilots, that's going to happen less and less. I'll let you know. Right there, did you guys see that? None, but we still had some smoke come off our plane. They got a hit. Once again, they got a hit there too. So they got a hit, they just didn't hit anything important. But believe me, a plane full of bullets or riddled with bullets, it's not, you shouldn't be flying in it. Let's just put it that way. I don't think the FAA or any international airline company would allow any of their passenger planes to take off from any airport with a bunch of bullet holes in them. Even if the engines were working just fine, it just wouldn't happen. Well, there are probably a few airlines that would allow that. I'm not going to name them, but it's a possibility, I think. Let's lower our speed a bit as well. No, see, ending speed 0. This plane would actually fly right off course. Not even fly off course. It would just crash because you're pushing the plane too much. Remember, with these World War II era planes, you can't push them like you can modern jets. You got to be careful. Right there, our airframe was hit. That's serious. That plane may be going down very, very soon. I hope the guy has a parachute. Here we go. What did I tell you? Too bad for him, man. It's a rough world. It really is. Trying to turn him around, but I don't know if we can get there in time to catch the enemy here. And this guy, we've got to lower the altitude. But right now, we can't really select the altitude level. He's kind of doing his own thing. Oh, ending speed. Why does the ending speed have to be 0? What if we lower speed to 0 and still try to turn? No, still going to be bad. So we'll keep the speed right there. And we actually get a chance at another shot. Only 28% chance, but hey, better than nothing. We hit the airframe. Now, unfortunately, this is a BF-110. This is not one of our targets, but it's always a good feeling to hit the enemy airframe, hit the enemy engine or something like that. That could definitely cause problems for that plane later on. This time we will make a roll for a weapons jam. So once again, this is more important in multiplayer. You can keep the roll secret, or you can let your enemy know that the plane has a weapons jam. That could, that could increase your chances of victory in a number of ways, or decrease them. If your enemy knows that you have a weapons jam, they might actually try to go after that plane. If that plane is not particularly important to your objective or your mission, maybe you do want to let them know that the plane has a weapons jam. So this guy has a weapons jam. He's not going to be firing for very long. But we can see that plane that had the that we hit the airframe, he's smoking. He's not in a good place right now. As you can see, that weapons jam, we should be able to fire. These guys are all in our line of fire, and we're also at the same altitude. But because of that jammed weapon, we're not going to be able to do a thing. Just imagine the frustration there of knowing that you might be able to take out an enemy plane, but you can't shoot because your gun won't work. Here we go, 42% chance of a hit up here in the sky. It's a miss, unfortunately. Now, if it says miss and doesn't say none, then that means you totally missed. You didn't even hit the plane. Just totally, every single bullet, went haywire, unfortunately. Or in this case, fortunately. So right now, the enemy has declared that they're going to tail us. This is something very important in the game. We haven't touched upon this in the recent tutorials. We've spoken on it a little bit, but this gets very serious. So now the enemy's going to tail you. You need to declare which way you're going to go. So I'm going to maneuver for a dive, and I'm going to try to turn right. My right, of course. Let's hope it works. Yep, and as you can see, it's going to show us how that's going to work. Works for me. Oh, airframe check failed. Enemy plane destroyed. And he's going down. You see that, guys? The plane could not hold it together. We damaged it way too much, and it just fell apart. And just, of course, went right down. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, guys, we are coming to the end of this stream. I do want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to take a look here at the chat. I have neglected it. I've been looking on my phone, but it's not the same. Is this British versus German only? So far it is. I'm not sure if that's going to change later. Yeah, there we go. Musso gave you a good inclination or a good idea of what to expect. So what we're going to do now is, or I think Musso, he's already posted the channels there. My channel, the Slytherin Games channel, the Matrix Games channel. I really liked it. Agrippa, do you plan to play more Day of Infamy on your personal channel? I try to keep things about my personal channel away from this stream. I do appreciate the question, definitely. And I also plan to play some Check Your Six on my channel because I'm really liking the game. I've already beaten the first mission a few times, but again, this is definitely a luck-based game as well as a skill-based game. When you're playing on an actual board, on a miniatures board, you're rolling dice, and the same is true here. So, you've got to be prepared for all those eventualities. Fair enough, says Pixel. I do appreciate it either way, mate. I really do. Thank you so much, my friends. I hope you guys had fun. A great game. You should definitely pick it up. We had 70 viewers, 78 viewers now, and I believe earlier we had, 3 people redeemed a copy of Check Your Six? I mean, that's so cool. You guys are enjoying it, and that makes me happy. Well, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. Don't forget to vote for the user stream, and I'll see you next time.